At Thanksgiving dinner, my brother opened the door, rolled his eyes, and said, "We don't want you here. Go interfere in someone else's life." When I looked inside, I saw my entire family sitting around the table, laughing together. I simply replied, "Fine," and walked away. About 10 minutes later, my dad suddenly stormed through the door, shouting my name. "Why are you even here, Josh?" Eli snapped, slamming his glass so hard wine splattered onto the tablecloth. "You don't belong at this family's table. You never did." The laughter that had filled the room just seconds before shriveled into silence. Lila's hand froze midair, fork trembling. Mom's eyes flicked toward Dad like she needed permission to breathe. I stayed still, hands folded, heart steady. "Answer him," Dad said coldly. His voice carried the finality of a judge. "Or should I tell them myself?" Eli leaned forward, smirking. "Tell us what? That you finally got caught stealing? About time everyone saw the truth." Their faces turned toward me, hungry for a confession I didn't owe them. I tilted my head and whispered, "If you think I stole, wait until you remember what you gave away." The room stiffened. For the first time, Eli blinked. "My name is Josh Renner, 26, the youngest, the mistake child. At least that's how Dad phrased it once when he thought I was asleep. I'm the one they tested their blame on, the one who absorbed every insult like a sponge because if I spoke up, the room got uglier, so I stayed quiet. Always. But quiet doesn't mean weak. Quiet means watching, storing, remembering. They believe I'm guilty of stealing, but none of them remembers the nights I stayed up saving them. None of them remembers that silence was my shield and my weapon. And tonight, I'm done being their scapegoat. Family members introduced. Eli, 29. Loud, self-proclaimed man of the house. He talks like he's earned the right to lead, but I've seen him on his knees begging for bail money, twice. Leela, 24. Sharp tongue, sharper heels. She loves pointing out my failures, but she never notices the mirror she avoids. Secrets cling to her like perfume. Clara, my mother. Her hands tremble at every fight, but she lets them happen. She hides behind tissues, but her silence hurts worse than Dad's shouting. And then there's Walter, the patriarch, the man whose rules choke tighter than chains. He doesn't yell often, but when he does, it feels like a verdict. Each of them played their part in breaking me down. They just never realized I was piecing something else together. Their sins. "This is ridiculous," Eli barked, slapping the table so plates rattled. "Dad, kick him out before he drags us all down." Walter's eyes stayed on me. "Josh knows what he did. The money didn't just disappear." I almost laughed. Disappear? No, it didn't vanish. It was handed over, signed away, by me. "Funny," I said quietly, "how you're suddenly worried about missing money when the real thief is sitting at the head of the table." Eli's face burned red. "Say that again." I leaned forward. "With all your business ventures, all your little mistakes, how long before Dad admits he bailed you out? Or does the family not know about your gambling debt in Reno?" Lila gasped. Mom choked on air. For the first time, Eli didn't have words. Eli lunged half out of his chair. "You shut your mouth!" I didn't flinch. "You think this is about money?" "No, it's about what you all did to me." The calm in my tone made him hesitate, like he suddenly realized silence can be sharper than shouting. Walter growled, "You've said enough." "Not even close," I shot back. "You stood there and let me rot under blame, while Eli walked free. Mom, you cried but never spoke. Lila, you mocked me every chance you got. And Dad," I pointed at him, my finger steady, "you buried the truth because your pride mattered more than your son." Their faces cracked like glass under heat. "You want silence?" I added. "Silence is over." The memory seared back. I was 21. Eli called me, drunk, panicked. His car smashed against a pole, a girl unconscious in the passenger seat. I remember the flashing red lights, the officer's suspicious glance. Walter showed up minutes later, envelope in hand, authority in his stride. "Josh will take it," he said flatly. "He's the youngest. He'll recover. The rest of us can't afford the stain." They nodded. They agreed. They let me sign papers that tied me to the debt, the blame, the shame. And I did it. For them. For family. I've been paying ever since, not just in money, but in silence. And now they dare call me a thief. "Stop this," Lila muttered now, her face pale. "You don't know what you're saying." "Oh, I know exactly what I'm saying," I shot back. "But maybe Dad doesn't want you to know that his cover-up didn't just protect Eli. It protected himself." Walter slammed his palm down. The table rattled. "Enough!" "Tell them," I pressed. "Tell them how you bribed the officer. Tell them how you cared more about your reputation than your son bleeding out." Eli's jaw dropped. Mom's sobbing grew louder, but it was Lila who broke. Her eyes filled. "I saw him. I saw Dad hand over the money. I thought it was to save Eli." "No," I whispered, staring at Walter. "It was to save himself. Because if that report reached the press, your name, your career, your empire would have collapsed." The silence was nuclear. The room exploded. "Oh, you ungrateful snake!" Walter shouted, spit flying. "Everything I built and you dare— You built nothing but lies," I cut him off. "You built a family that survives on silence and shame." Eli's chair toppled as he lunged again, but Lila screamed at him to stop. Mom begged me not to go further, her voice breaking. But I wasn't stopping. "I gave you all my silence," I said, rising to my feet. "Tonight, I give you the truth." I leaned closer, voice like steel. "And truth doesn't care how rich or respected you are, Dad. It destroys liars the same." His face, pale, trembling, furious, was worth every year of silence. The chaos swirled around me, Eli shouting, Lila crying, Mom pleading, Walter seething. But I felt calm, lighter. I stood, pushing the chair back. "You wanted a thief? Look in the mirror. You wanted a failure? That's your legacy, not mine." Lila grabbed my wrist. Her voice cracked. "Josh, I'm sorry. I should have said something. I should have—" "You should have," I agreed softly. "But you didn't. None of you did. And I bled for it." I pulled free. They'll never see me the same again, and I don't need them to. The door shut behind me, but it sounded like freedom opening. The night air was cold, biting, but it felt clean. For years, I carried their secrets like chains. Tonight, I dropped them at their feet. Let them choke on the truth. Maybe they'll hate me. Maybe they'll tear each other apart. Maybe, just maybe, someone will finally break free like I did. But me? I'm done, I whispered into the night. For the first time, I don't carry their weight anymore. And the silence, my silence, was finally mine. If you were in my place, would you forgive, or would you walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. Your voice matters here. Hit like if Josh's voice reached you. Hit subscribe if you want more stories that rip open the silence and speak truth. And most importantly, comment your story, because silence only wins if we stay quiet.